Welcome back, everyone. There's another episode of the Armchair Expert's Guide to Writing. This will be another two-parter with the focus being on character creation and everything relevant to designing a character beyond, obviously, the superficial aspect of it, which is basic appearance, which a lot of new writers seem to focus on. Areas where the character description is the focal point. When character choice can dictate a lot of things when it comes to the type of obstacles that a character will face throughout the story, how they'll have to overcome those obstacles, and the status they have when they are in a particular society, if they're wealthy, poor, middle class, and so forth. So all of those aspects will affect how a character is written and how a story develops that character will progress through. That being said, there are a few questions a lot of new writers post online in forums and on Reddit and other sites and social media areas like that, and it usually has to do with should I or shouldn't I write X, Y, Z type of character. And it's typically, as a white person, is it okay if I write a character that's black, or a character, if I'm a man, is it okay if I write a character that's female, etc., etc. And my answer to this is yes, you should write whatever kind of character you want and tell whatever kind of story you want. That's pretty much the short answer, short version of it, because you can get really bogged down in a lot of political discussion, and it really detracts from the creative process in writing in general to get too bogged down in that. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as you approach writing a different group of people, that whether it's a different ethnicity, a different religious group, someone that has a different sexual orientation, and so on and so forth, if you're writing it from a position of being fair-handed and somewhat objective, and you're not writing a particular group of people merely just to disparage them and to mock them and to ridicule them just as a means of being, vindictive, then you should be okay. I don't think most authors go into the creative process with the objective of trying to mock or ridicule another group of people. I mean, that would be kind of a pointless thing. It's easy enough to do something like that in a nonfiction work, writing a political treatise and, denouncing another group of people. So yeah, it doesn't matter what in the real world, what group you belong to, if you identify that, in that kind of a narrow focus as far as your ethnicity or whatever, you can write about other people from different walks of life. You just need to be, a little bit more diligent when it comes to understanding, maybe not necessarily, walking in their shoes, but, understanding, historical and cultural context of these people, their belief systems, if you're doing religion and so forth. So you have a decent idea of what they're all about before you try to take an opinion and go with it. But like I said, it's your characters. You can write them however you want. There's not a real, there may be a small but vocal minority of people that are going to complain about the kind of characters you write regardless, and you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't when it comes to those people. So don't really, I would say, worry about that whatsoever, because it's just going to limit you and limit your possibilities when it comes to what you want to write. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to that part of it. Don't get too worried about it. If you, like I said, if you portray people fairly and there's a rhyme and reason why, people act a certain way or whatnot, and and there's some logic behind it, you're not going to be for the average person, they're not going to really take offense to it. You have to be pretty clueless and pretty pretty ignorant to just kind of bumble through things and portray someone very stereotypically. You'd have to, like I said, with our experiences with other people and cultures kind of becoming more commonplace, or at least more accessible with technology, it's easier to just to find out about other people by asking, talking to other people online or in person, doing some research, reading some historical, cultural books to get a better idea, and then go from there. So yeah, that's pretty much it on this intro part of the character creations portion of this series. I'll be doing another PowerPoint type project and going through and talking about the thought process behind choosing a character, and kind of little step by step, and just giving people a better idea of how each part of the character will affect the story. And, so you can really, nail the aspects of a character that you really want to come forth and be on display and be, focused on when you're writing the story itself. So I will get to doing that right now, and I'll hopefully have that out shortly. So stay tuned and take it easy.